Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bobbie and this is Bobbie Reads Tarot. But today we're not going to read tarot. I thought I would share with you guys some of the stuff that I have for being prepared for an emergency. So I've been talking a lot on my channel and we've been seeing a lot of the readings where things look like they might get a little uncomfortable, right? And I'm always telling you guys, be prepared, be prepared. So I want to show you just a few of the things that I've gotten, just to kind of give you some ideas. Because when I first started preparing, I did things like bought rice, bought canned goods, started stocking up on water, but I was like, what stuff do I need, right? Like the food, the water, I've got that figured out, but what am I really, really going to need? So I thought I would show you guys what I have so far and maybe to give you some ideas. And then if there are things that you guys think of, let me know and let everyone else know in the comment section down below. Okay. So, and I want to show you like a range of items. This is for every budget. Okay. So there are going to be things here that are really, really affordable. And then there are things that are going to be a little bit more expensive. And I understand that this is not going to fit in everyone's budget. And know that I didn't just go out and purchase all of this at once. I've been gradually adding just piece by piece. Okay. So I don't want anyone to see this and think I can't afford all that stuff. No, I couldn't either. Just one thing at a time. Whatever you feel is most important, start with that and just prep as you go. Okay. So the first thing I have, duct tape. Guys, duct tape is going to be so important because it's duct tape, right? I just think, I don't even think I need to explain. If you need to seal up things, you have duct tape. If you need to put things together, you have duct tape. So duct tape, this is like a couple bucks. Okay. The second thing that I have is a first aid kit. Now, this is a super duper first aid kit. When I first started, I did not have this first aid kit. I actually had supplies that I got from the dollar store. But as I've upgraded, I got this first aid kit, and this is actually I forget what it's called, but it's like the super duper it's got you can stitch someone up. It's got all of the stuff. I mean, there's a first aid handbook in here, and there is all kinds of stuff in here. I wanted to just have in case of emergency, I wanted to have the really big one. Now, I also have a smaller first aid kit in our go bag, and I'll show you our go bag too and the stuff that's in there. Okay, to go along with this, I also got this because if, let's say, the grid goes down or there's no power or there's no cell service and we need medical help and we can't get to the internet, what do you do? Well, now I have this big old book. So, I mean, it's really thick, but it's like the essential guide for when help is not on the way. This covers every single type of thing you can imagine. This is animal bites, how to stitch, how to deliver a baby, what to do if someone's having a seizure. It talks about different kinds of medications, what to do for COPD, the pancreas issues, whatever you need. So one of the things I always remind you guys is to have books on hand, because again, if it's all in your Kindle or something and there's no power, you're not going to be able to access it. So you want to make sure that you have something that you can access whenever you need it. Okay. And while we're on the topic of books, I have a couple other books that I want to share with you that I purchased. This is the Complete Guide to Food Preservation. I don't know anything about food preservation. If I had to keep my food fresh without refrigeration, I wouldn't know what to do, right? Well, this tells you how to salt food, freeze food, can food, dry it, whatever, however you can preserve food. This book tells you how to do it. So, and these aren't books, I'm not going to read this right now because I'm not going to preserve my food. But what I did do is look through here and see, okay, what types of supplies do I need? So I do have the big pot that you boil the jars in and like the canning stuff and then like the canning supplies. So make sure that you have the supplies that you would need, because the book is not going to help you if you don't have the stuff to go along with it. But this is something to think about. If you had to, long-term preserve your food, would you know how to do it? Then I have this book, which is the Prepper Survival Bible. This is all about this is more of a comprehensive. So this has a lot of different things. It's got a little bit about, quite a bit of stuff, but it's not super, super comprehensive. But it just gives you some just basic, information. I actually have a couple of these books. And I'm not, saying this is a great one, go get this one. This is just one, there's plenty of other ones. So, I would just have something like this on hand. And then the final book that I have for you guys is a cookbook. Do you guys know how to cook without the internet? I know how to cook basic stuff, right? But if I had to, let's say cook, if I want to make a gravy and I don't remember, how much flour to water to whatever, or if it's something I don't make very often, if I want to make, if I needed to make cookies, right? I don't know a recipe off the top of my head. So make sure that if you don't know recipes, if you're like me and you have to rely on the internet, make sure you have a good cookbook. Okay. Now, obviously the books are if you're staying in, okay, that's not if we're going out, but if we're sheltering in our homes. To go along with that, I also have a seed kit. So this is one I just got. It's got a ton of different seeds. It's just a nice kit. I also have other seeds as well, but this is just a nice, really good basic kit that you can just have and you're good. Okay. The other thing that's important to have is a hatchet. All right. If you are needing to chop up firewood to burn, or if you need to chop up anything, if you need to have fires for heat or fires for cooking, you are going to need a hatchet, and it can also double as a weapon. So I recommend getting a hatchet. Now, the hatchet, my first hatchet I bought a really cheap one, and it's outside. It's the one I use right now, but it was super cheap and the blade's really dull, and I use it for splitting my firewood and I hate it. So I actually bought myself a better one in case of emergency, because I hate the one I have. So make sure that you don't just get a cheap hatchet. Make sure you get one that is going to work for what you need it to work for. Okay. The other thing that I purchased, and this one I just thought of and I was oh, I'm probably going to need that. So what happens if we burn all of our candles and then we don't have any candles left, right? I have wicks. I bought wicks so I can make my own candles. So that's something super random, but if you're in a long-term situation where there's no electricity, these will come in really handy. The other thing too is, because I get a lot of candles from the dollar store, I like the long, I think you can actually see some behind me, the long skinny ones. I call them Jesus candles. Anyway, when you burn candles down and then there's always that little bit left around the bottom, you can take that, melt it down, and combine it and essentially make a whole new candle with all of your ends, and then boom, you have a wick. So it makes your candles last longer. The other thing you can do as well is Crisco, it burns forever. So you can put a wick in Crisco and use that as a candle as well. So these were just a couple bucks, and it was definitely worth it. Something else that I got. Now, this is something that's extra, that a lot of people would be I don't want that. But I'm sharing this with you because it gets you thinking outside of the box. So for me, it's if I were in a survival situation with my kids and we were trying to do the best we could, I would want it to be as normal as possible. Well, one of the things that my kids and I always do on the weekends is we have waffles. I make them waffles all the time. They just love it. And what would we do if we didn't have a waffle maker, right? So I went online and I found a cast iron waffle maker, you guys. So you can just put you have to season these, okay? So when you buy cast iron, that's another thing. Oh, I don't have it in here, but a cast iron skillet. Make sure you have a cast iron skillet because you can cook on fire with like on top of fire. But you do need to season them. But I got a cast iron waffle maker so that I could make my kids waffles on the fire. And if we go camping, boom, we can have waffles too. So that's just a little something. So think about that stuff. Like, what are the things, small things that you could have in a emergency situation that would give you some comfort? That's why I got the waffle pan. Another thing that I have, now this could be in your go bag. This was not in my go bag. I don't know why I didn't have this in my go bag. So I am kind of revamping our go bags too, because I just had one. And like I said, you know, I'm like adding. So what I'm going to eventually do is get 3 more backpacks, one for each of us because it's me and my 3 kiddos. So everyone would have their own backpack, and then we could kind of spread out the supplies, and then we can carry more stuff. So another thing that I have is these water drop survival straws. So these are, what are they called? Well, I don't know what they're called, but they're like life straws, I think is what they're called. But these, you can drink water from anywhere, and it removes 99.99% of bacteria and protozoa. And this is good for 100,000 gallons of water. It'll filter through 100,000 gallons of water. So that is something else you want to think about, like water. So we have water here. Like I have water stored in the house. And then we have so I have those 5-gallon water bottles. We have a ton of them. So something to think about is that they say a gallon of water a day per person, and don't forget your pets. So there's 4 of us here and 3 dogs. So we have, I don't even know right now, I haven't counted. I would say we have probably close to 20 of those 5-gallon water jugs that are full. And then we have a couple cases of just water bottles. And we have a couple cases of Pedialyte. So Pedialyte is another thing that you should keep on hand. So now I'm going to show you guys my bag. And like I said, this isn't like fully complete, but this is just some stuff to think about. I didn't go out and buy a special backpack. This is like literally a backpack that I've had and used forever. So here is what is in my go bag. So the first thing I have, this is a water filtration kit. So it's instead of that's why I don't have the life straws in there. It's because I put this in there. So this is like a manual pump where you can filter through water. So we have a water filter. The next thing we have is a radio, but it's a crank radio. So if we don't have electricity or batteries or whatever, these work. And these work even after there's been an EMP blast as well. So these are really good for, and it has a flashlight in it. And it has like some other kind of like little floodlight thingy. And what else does it have? Yeah. And then it's just a radio. So, you know, in case of emergencies, you're going to want to be able to hear messages. And I like this one because it's really, really small, but you want to make sure that you have a hand crank one, not one that's going to require, like batteries or power. Okay, then I have a survival kit. Now, this survival kit that I have is a survival kit / first aid kit. This is a really nice one because it's like, again, it's really, really compact, but this amount of stuff they have in here is just absolutely insane. So let me show you guys. And again, you can get these. You can get these at all different costs, all different prices. They're really affordable. Okay, so what I'll do, we have in here. The first thing we have is, what is this? I don't even know what this is. What is, oh, it's one of those little shovel, it's like a little shovel hatchet thingy. Then it has a little tiny first aid kit. Then it has a tiny little fishing kit. And it has one of these like card things that has all the different edges. Okay, and then it has a multi-use tool, which these things are amazing. I love those. Okay, and then we have a shelter. Look at that, a freaking shelter. Plastic gloves, glow sticks. I think this is called like paracord, more paracord stuff. Some kind of like a hook thing. Look at this, a Swiss Army knife with utensils, a knife. There is a flashlight, a tool that you use to break stuff, like windows and stuff. A compass. Now, I put the compass in here. This was part of my son's Halloween costume. He was a steampunk guy, but it works, so we threw the compass in. And we have, what is this? An emergency rescue blanket. Oh my gosh, there's like so much stuff in here. That thing, or whatever that's for. See, this is why I need those survival books, because I'm going to be like, what do I do with this thing? And bandages. So all of that stuff. This kit like has a first aid kit, a shovel, a tent, all this paracord, eating utensils, like all of this stuff. And it's like in this tiny little, it's so crazy. It's in this, oh wait, and there's a rain poncho. It just folds up into this like tiny little pouch, and it's just so like, it's so handy. Let's see if I'm going to be able to get all this back in. Back in there. Shove it all in. Look at that. Boom. Not even difficult. I thought I was going to struggle, but I didn't. So yeah, and it has like different straps, so you can like hook it onto something, which is also really nice if you're not putting it in a go bag. Okay, so other things that I have. This is the coolest thing, you guys. This is a tiny little stove, so you can cook. So if we have to like run and we need to, you know, use our little emergency guide and catch fish and we have to cook them, then we have this little portable camp stove. So this, you can do a ton of different things with it. It has like a bowl or, oh my gosh, like all kinds of different things. So let me get this put together for you guys so you can see. Okay. Where's the directions? Oh my God. Okay. This is so stinking cute, you guys. Look. So you light a fire underneath of it. Okay. And then you put this on top. So you can have like charcoal, you can like burn sticks, whatever you have to burn, you burn it under here. And then it has like a cute little like rack, or you can put in this little thing here. And it's, ooh, that was a terrible sound. That's not on there. Oh, it got bent. Okay. So then there's like a little bowl that you can heat up, or, oh, I wonder if this is where you're supposed to put the fire. Okay, so you put the fire in here, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, however it works, this is a little super cute portable cook stove, right? Like, how prepared am I gonna be if I ever need a cook stove in the woods? Yes. You can tell I'm such a mom. I've got a cook stove and a waffle maker. Okay, so let's see what else we have in here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have tons of matches. These are just like extra matches I've gotten. And a week's worth of medication. So all of our family medications, like all of us have medicine. I have a week's supply of our medicine in here as well. So that's something to think about. And then I have a knife. Is that it? Where's our flashlights? We have flashlights, but are they down here? No. Oh, bug spray, bug repellent. I have bug repellent and I have sunblock. And then we have a whole flashlight kit, but I must not have put it in there. I'm actually really glad I did this video because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I need to revamp some stuff. But so that you guys, but now you guys know, like, the little things that I've gotten, the things that you wouldn't necessarily think about, like a little tiny cook stove. And this was like less than $15. You know, like the water filtration, things like that, like the hand crank radio. It's that stuff that I want you guys to think about so that you're prepared if something does happen, and be prepared to go out or to stay in. Okay. Like, have both options. I really should have some like Pedialyte and some water and probably some like MREs in here. They're all in my garage, which is not helping us. But yeah, the other thing I'm going to show you guys, I'll include pictures. I have 3 different generators that I want to, or I guess chargers, that I want to show you guys. So there's really something for every budget. So the first one I have is just a really small one, and it's got a radio, it's got a light. It came with like a cute little light bulb. So if you want to hang up a light bulb and light up a room, it has that. It has like Bluetooth, so you can connect music to it, and it can charge small things like cell phones, things like that. The next size up that I have, it's a little bit bigger, and you can plug it into the wall to charge it, but it also has solar panels. So I got the solar panels to go with it. Now this is a medium cost. Okay. So this is a little bit more. This is something that you might have to budget for, save for this, you know, or this might be something that some people can't afford. And here's the thing, when I was showing you guys the generators, I'm just sharing with you what I have, but it doesn't mean that you have to go have a generator. For some people, it is not in their budget. Some of them can be incredibly expensive. Okay. So just watch them. Like for mine, I put mine on my Amazon wish list. And then when it went on sale, I would get alerts. And so I ended up getting mine for like 40% off. So I didn't pay full price for mine. Okay. So the second generator that I have, again, it's just a really small one. It does charge with solar panels, or you can charge it from the wall. And it's what you would use for things like, you could charge cell phones, but you could plug in like a blender. You could plug in, like smaller appliances. Why can't I think of a smaller appliance right now? Like a mixer or, a toaster, things like that. Okay. And then I have a big generator, and that one has really big solar panels, and it also can charge from the wall, so you can like pre-charge it. It's like a big bank. Okay. And the one that I have, there's different ones, but the one that I have is big enough and carries enough power that I could run a tiny house off grid. So like I could have probably like a small refrigerator, like those type of household appliances. It can support that. So that's what I have. I have those 3. Now, the reason I have solar generators and I don't have a gas generator is for 2 reasons. Number one, if there's some kind of a catastrophe or something, I think gas is probably going to be pretty hard to find, and you're only going to be able to store so much gas. Okay. And the other thing is that I don't know, I'm not really super familiar with gas generators, but I don't think you can run them in your house, or you'd have to have a lot of ventilation. Well, if you're locked up, you're not going to be able to use that. So that's one reason. The second reason that I've opted for solar instead of gas is that solar is silent. I don't want any of my neighbors to know that I have generators, because it makes you susceptible. I think it's so terrible that we live in a world like this, but it's how it is. And I think for like safety and security, that's why I wanted a solar generator. So, yeah, that was what I went with. So I have the 3 different ones. So we're going to be good no matter what happens. As far as like generators go. So that is what I have for you guys today. I know that this was a non-tarot video, but I really felt like, since we've been talking so much about prepping, that I might as well like show you some ideas for what I'm doing. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have any other ideas, please leave them in the comment section. I love ideas. People are so smart. You guys are so smart, and you guys share stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. So definitely do that. I will link all of this stuff in the comment section or the description box down below so that you can go check that out. Also in the description box down below is a link to my website. And there is also the link to join my channel. So my members get access to exclusive content, member-only lives where they get to ask their questions and I read cards for them. So the membership is 99 cents a month. It supports the channel. So that's in the description box down below as well. And if you're still with me, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button on your way out. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is click that little circle right there. Boop, boop, boop. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.